Resourcefulness without structure is reactivity. You don't need more ideas. You need something that pulls without you. The overwhelm will take over really quickly otherwise.
All right. I'm Rebecca Hay, and I've built a successful interior design business by trial and error, podcasts, online courses, and so many freaking books. Over the last decade, I've grown from an insecure student to having false starts to careers, and now I'm finally in the place where I want to be. Throughout my journey, it's been pretty obvious that I'm passionate about business and helping other entrepreneurs do the same. Each week, I'll share tangible takeaways from my own experience and the experiences of other badass women to help you build your confidence and change your business.
Hey, it's Rebecca, and you are listening to Resilient by Design. All right, so today I want to do something a little different, something a little fun. Over the last couple of months, I have been having calls with designers. They're called strategy sessions. And in these calls, it's been really interesting to see where everybody's at. And every designer I speak to is at a different stage in their journey, whether they're just starting out or they're 30 plus years in. Seriously, I'm telling you, I'm talking to designers from all those stages. And what I've started to see is there are 3 types of design firm owners. And actually, this is something that I talk about inside my live workshop. So if you get a chance to join one of my predictability workshops, then highly recommend you, if you like this, you come to the workshop because you're going to love it. But I just thought maybe I would share this on the podcast because I think it's kind of fun to self-identify and reflect on where you're at and then look at where you could go. At this stage of business, where you're no longer a beginner, but you don't really feel steady yet, most designers fall into one of 3 identities, not personality types. We're all various types of personalities, but business identities. And I want you to pay attention and think about which one of these personas you identify with the most. So I'm going to share what I see over and over again. So this is them. The first one is the resourceful designer. The second is the adaptable designer. And the third is the confident designer. So the first is the resourceful designer. She is capable. She is smart. She is always figuring it out. She's resourceful, right? Hence the name. She says yes because she can. She over-delivers because she cares. And she is not afraid to try new things over and over and over again. She Googles, she researches, she uses AI, she attends events, she listens to podcasts like this one, she tests, she tweaks, she invests in courses, she's committed to growth, which I love. She's super ambitious and she's curious and growth-minded. Can you relate to this? Does this sound like you? Maybe you're a really great student if you're a resourceful designer, right? You're always learning and trying new things. If this is you, I just want you to nod to yourself. So the challenge with the resourceful designer is it can lead to feeling scattered and often lands you in overwhelm. This designer is constantly adjusting. It's exhausting. If a client pushes back, she adapts. If revenue dips, she pivots. If someone else is succeeding in her industry, she studies them and tries to model or emulate them. And that can be really exhausting. Her calendar might be full. She is so busy, but her nervous system isn't taut. And the thought she would never say out loud is this. If I stop pushing, if I stop hustling, this could all go away. If that hit, you're not alone. Here's the challenge. Resourcefulness without structure becomes reactivity. I'm going to say that again. Resourcefulness without structure is reactivity. You don't need more ideas. You need something that pulls without you. The overwhelm will take over really quickly otherwise. Okay, I'm going to put that one on pause for a second. Now I want to talk about the second type of designer. This one is the adaptable designer. Let's take a look at her. She's hardworking. She's driven. She's not afraid of effort. She believes that putting in more hours will grow her business and make money. And if she just keeps pushing forward, it'll eventually pay off. This one is sneaky. The hard work has started to pay off, so we think it's working. And I can tell you, I know this girl well. My single mom instilled this in me. If you work harder, you will get what you want. If you work harder, you will succeed. If you work harder, you will make more money. The amount you work is tied to an outcome that you expect. And the truth is that it does work for a while. And both of these types of designers, the resourceful designer and the adaptable designer, they helped me to get to a certain level of my business. You cannot knock them. This is growing. This is stepping stones. Because this adaptable designer, she's a slightly different than the resourceful designer because she's tasted success. She's had some really great projects. She's raised her rates maybe once. She knows she's good. She feels a little bit more established. Maybe she's even gotten some press. But the effort doesn't always match her results. The adaptable designer is exhausted from constantly tweaking her pricing, her process, her messaging, not because she's failing, but because nothing feels locked in. She looks around and thinks, I am doing all the things. I'm saying yes to everything my client desires. So why am I not seeing growth? If that is you, I want you to take a moment to recognize you are almost there. Because the next type of designer, the third type of designer, is the last one. And this one is the confident designer. This is not about ego. This is about structure. Her process is clear to her and to her clients. She knows which projects that come to her are a yes, but she also understands when to say no. She recognizes the red flags and knows when a project's not the right fit. Her revenue is never a surprise. She is planning ahead. Her boundaries, they're non-negotiable. Her marketing, her pricing, and all of her operations work together. And deep down, we all want to aspire to be her. If that's who you want to become, you're in the right place. Here's what makes the confident designer different. She is not more talented. She is not more creative. She has simply built predictability into her business. Her business does not depend on her mood. Her income does not depend on hustle and putting in more hours. Her growth, it doesn't depend on reacting and giving in. She operates from structure every time with every client, with every project, and with every hire. And because of that, she's calm. Here's what makes her different. She has built predictability on 4 foundations. There is nothing wrong with being the resourceful designer or the adaptable designer. Guys, the goal is not to stop being resourceful or being adaptable or even being hardworking. Those traits have got you so far. They're not going away and they will help you, but you can't rely on those alone. Resourcefulness, adaptability, curiosity, drive, those are all strengths. But at some point, resourcefulness without alignment will lead to scattered strategies. You're just trying different things all the time, and you're not committing to one way of doing things. Resourcefulness will build momentum. There's no doubt about it, right? You're adaptable, you're resourceful, but it could also build overwhelm and chaos, and that can lead to burnout. Whereas structure builds calm, and calm businesses are not accidental. They're actually engineered. And adaptability without alignment will become exhaustion. The goal is not to stop being resourceful or adaptable. The goal is to become the confident designer. So as we go through growing our business, we need to start paying attention to what parts of the foundation are correct. What parts of the foundation haven't even been built up yet. You need a solid foundation with structure in order to achieve the results and the dreams that you desire. And as you start to listen to this podcast and invest more time on working on your business, you'll start to learn that what separates these designers, it's not their talent or their know-how or their access. It's actually the room that they're operating in. Some rooms reward hustle and some rooms reward flexibility, and some are built for calm, premium level work. And if you've been feeling like you're capable of more, or your business hasn't quite caught up yet, then you are exactly where you need to be. When I finally started paying attention to working on my business, I realized I didn't need more clients, also more higher end, better clients. If they came to me, I wouldn't be able to serve them at the level they needed. And so I realized if I wanted to have more creative freedom, make more money, and have those clients, I needed structure. I needed to run a project the same way every time so that I could live my life again. It wasn't my talent. It wasn't my effort. It was what was missing underneath everything. I had spent years focusing on getting clients, but I had no foundation to support them once they came in. And that's when I experienced a real breakdown in my business. At the time, I had several team members, but there was no foundation. It was fractured. I knew I needed to do something different. Clients were unhappy. I'm sure I've shared this here before, my lemon job, where the client sat me down at the end of the project and told me they loved me, they loved the design, but they really did not enjoy the process of working with me. That stung. I cried a lot. Like a lot. So that's when I knew I had to do something different. DSD, do something different. And that's when I started to build structure in my business. That's when I got clear on my process. I started to understand my numbers. I learned how to attract the right clients and really filter the ones that were not good. And I stepped into actually leading my business. And it didn't happen overnight, but it happened in a little bit of a way that lasted, which was bit by bit, week by week. And that's when I started to see more consistent leads, better, more aligned clients, more confidence in my own pricing, and honestly, a lot more calm because I wasn't guessing anymore. I had structure and I now had the ability to help my team execute well. And what I've learned since then, after building my own design firm to 7 figures and now coaching hundreds of designers on how to do this, is that predictable businesses are not built on talent. They are built on structure. That next best project that gets featured on the cover of the magazine, that will not fix the problems in your business. If anything, it will amplify them because you're still adaptable, you're still resourceful, and you're not at that next level. But when you have that structure, you stop chasing your business and you start leading it. It's like having a business that is strong is like having a table with 4 strong legs. And I love this sort of visual because it just shows you that a table can't just have one strong leg. You can't just be really good at pricing or really good at marketing or really good at running a project. You need all 4 of those legs to be strong or that table will wobble. And if you keep piling more on top of the table, more clients, more projects, more pressure, woo, it doesn't matter how strong that one leg is, the whole thing will completely collapse. So that is what happened to me. And that is why I am teaching designers how to build the foundation in their business. You need structure, and it starts with the 4 pillars. That's what I'm teaching inside my predictability framework workshop. It is free. Go check it out. You can link to it where at the bottom of this episode, I only offer it a few times a year. Go check it out. Find out when the next one's happening because I'm going to walk you through in that workshop those 4, I could call them pieces of a puzzle or pillars of a building, but the predictability framework that will help you establish more repeatable systems in your business so that you can have more consistent revenue and predictable project. You need to build a table that is strong, right? it's not going to be about fixing one thing in isolation. It's about stabilizing the entire structure. So if you're ready and you want to learn about those 4 pillars of predictability, go check out my workshop, The Predictability Framework. And at the very least, if you listen to this episode, I do hope that the one thing you take away is you need to carve out time every week to work on your business so that you can stop being reactive and start building with intention. All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you soon.